The only way to win in this life is if you choose to win yourself. The only way you can stack dubs is if you choose to stack them yourself. The only way you can put another tally on the left side of the column instead of the right is by doing it yourself. Think about it. No matter what it is, if it's the gym, right? We say that quote all the time. DZ's quote, I'll help you pick up that heavy shit by yourself. There's nobody that can get on the bench press for you. There's nobody that can go pick up the 50-pound dumbbells. There's nobody that can get in your car and drive to the parking lot of the gym and get into the gym and put on your shoes and start working out. It's the same with business. There's nobody else that can write that business plan. There's nobody else that sees that vision, that Russ quote, right? Of the lyrics, chasing after a vision that only you can see. Nobody else can see that vision. Nobody else has that purpose. Nobody else has that drive. Nobody else knows how the income will flow and go. Nobody else knows what that business will look like. You have to make it successful. It's the same with your personal life and charisma. If you want to be more charismatic, you want to be funnier, you want to speak more fluently, you have to do it yourself. Sure, you can go check out a class or watch a podcast or maybe even pay for a course and you get one-on-one coaching. But at the end of the day, you still have to do it yourself. The system doesn't want you to win. The whole world doesn't want you to win. You know, I was having a conversation with Grammy P over the weekend and talking about some of the things in the world, you know, where Medicare is and just the nonsense going on right now and with the hurricanes, and T's and P's to all of our hurricane victims and soon to be more coming up this week. You know, they don't want you to win. They want you to be on an ever stuck rabbit race or hamster wheel. They want you to just be always in the rat race, constant revolutions, never getting out of it. They don't want you to win. They want you to be focused on how you're going to pay this bill, or, oh my gosh, the price of groceries are going up, or are you voting for Trump or Kamala, or are you red or blue, or did you see what that politician did, or oh my gosh, did you hear this news story, and oh my goodness, the world is ending. They want you to be so distracted that you don't ever have time to even think about winning. All you think about is losing, because all that's around you is negativity. All that's around you is the bullshit. And if you can simply rise above that bullshit for a brief moment, you can start to see how much it is taking you away from your wins. You literally have the opportunity to win every single day. Not every single day, every single moment that you are alive, you can win. But most people never choose to do it. They stay in the system. They keep following just the orders. They stay in line. They cross their T's, dot their I's, and they take their little blue pills and they don't ask any questions. That life's not for me. And I know that life is not for a lot of people, mostly, especially you that tune into this show. I know it's not for Swirl. I know it's not for DZ. So it's important to have those people around you. It's important to surround yourself with a high quality group of human beings. But at the end of the day, you still have to do it yourself. They're going to be great. They're going to give you good advice. They're going to help you push forward, but you still have to go to the gym. You still have to build the business. You still have to make the down payment. You still have to get the loan. It's all on your shoulders. And I suppose when you think about surrounding yourself with the right people, I thought about that quote from Chris Voss yesterday. Don't ever take advice from someone you wouldn't switch places with, right? Are you just running around, you know, when you think about going to the gym? I've said this a million times before. If you wanted to get a six-pack, would you go ask somebody north of 400 pounds that hasn't got off of their couch in 5+ years how to go get a six-pack at the gym? No, you wouldn't. Same with being an entrepreneur. Why are you sitting around asking all your W-2 buddies in the cubicle if you should take a leap of faith, if you should be an entrepreneur, if you should start pursuing your passions? Because all they're ever going to tell you is no, you shouldn't. Because all they know is their little cubicle. They know their box. They don't know anything greater than that. So if you're asking questions from people who you wouldn't even switch places with, how much sense does that make? Maybe that's why you're not winning. Maybe you're surrounding yourself with the wrong people who say they want you to win, who say they want you to stack dubs, but they really don't at the end of the day because they want you to stay right where they are. Same even keel playing field. And what do you think the system is trying to do? What do you think society is trying to do? Just look and research for a minute. One even keel playing field. That ain't for me. There is those who are successful and those who are not. And I'm sorry to put it that way. Either you want to stack dubs or you want to stay a fucking loser. It's not my choice. It is on you. Either you want to be a winner starting right now today, or you want to keep being a loser for the rest of your life, baby. No one wants you to win. No, literally no one. No, hardly anyone outside of your mother and your father do not want you to win. Nobody, not the system, not that group of friends, not this person, not that person. They secretly don't want you to win. But guess what? We want you to win. Right here at the Diamond Hand Media Group at Forge and Fuel, we want you to win. So that is why we show up every single day saying one thing that might change a thought, move a muscle, shift a perspective that helps you stack that next dub and helps you pick up that heavy ass weight by yourself.
Man, how you feeling? I was pretty strong. I'm feeling it. I'm totally. I wrote all kinds of stuff down. And first off, you trip my triggers with the whole hamster wheel because I talk about it, the maze, the mice, all of that. And it's kind of interesting because we have to choose to stack our dubs on a daily basis. Everything we do literally comes down to, hey, am I choosing the bad thing or the right thing? Am I going to go take that walk, or am I going to sit here and flick the sticks for a little while? You know, what am I going to do with my time? How's that going to be spent? And the biggest thing that I always look at too is, you know how there's that saying, hey, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself, right? You have to do it yourself. I can't depend on Capp to do a task the way I would do it. And I would look at him and go, hey, Capp, you're doing that wrong. He'd be like, what are you talking about? This is how I know how to do it. Yeah, but you know, in my eyes, in my land, in my world, we do it this way. Oh, okay. Well, guess what? You should have done it yourself, right? Well, so that's why you just got to pick up the weight and do it yourself. I looked over here and I got my notes. It says, why are you always looking for the cheese? People are always going through the maze looking for the cheese. Why aren't you trying to make your cheese instead? See, there's a lot of people out there that realize, you know what? If I'm looking for the cheese, I'm following their maze. They're changing it on me all the time. And if you're in any kind of sales job, they always move your cheese every single year. And what they're doing is basically, while they're making more cheddar, they're making sure that you make the same amount every single time. So even though the block of cheese gets bigger, you're still getting the same small portion. So my question then is, hey, if you're going to spend time going to get some cheese anyway, why don't you make some cheese? Why don't you learn the recipe on how to make some cheese, right? I would take whatever I could from what I'm doing and start to understand the recipe on how I put it together. How do I drain the whey? How do I salt and shape this thing so it looks like a piece of cheese? How long do I sit it to age so therefore I have a piece of cheese? And then at the end of it all, when I get my big old block and I see Capp, I'm like, hey, Capp, check this out. I can cut a piece and just hand it to him. Right now, I'm providing instead of asking people to go through a maze to get it. So I went from trying to get my little triangle of cheese to now being able to provide cheese to those around me because I learned it. Right. And I say that in obviously a very proverbial way. Right. But I know a friend who worked at Starbucks, took all that information he knew, said, hey, I could be a barista. Went and did that, opened up a coffee shop. Now this guy is doing his own thing, went and found an old Starbucks that shut down and bought their whole machine, right? It shut down. He bought their machine. He bought the actual coolers, all that stuff. And now he's got a drive-through coffee shop. I'm just saying, all he did was take what he learned from somebody giving him cheese. He learned how to make the cheese. He said, hey, the only thing I need is a couple tools. Let me go get that. And now all of a sudden, he's generating his own revenue off the cheese that he is creating from scratch. So what does that mean, my friends? You can choose to keep staying in the maze. You can choose to continue to get up and do the 9 to 5, not save any money, not put anything aside, not try to make your life better, not go to the gym. You can choose to do all those things because they're super easy, simple, takes no effort. Or you can say, you know what? I'm going to write this down, just like I talked about right now. Look, I already got a page of notes. I'm going to write this stuff down because that's the recipe I'm going to need later on in time. And maybe I'm not making the cheese this week, but when I need it in a month or when I need it in 2 months, at least I'll have the knowledge gained of how to make it. So when I'm ready to, I can start providing for everyone around me with the knowledge I've gained.